Hey everyone, my name's Amanda. Thanks for joining me and doing a little self-care today. And in this video, we are going to be focusing all on your feet and your ankles. So in my opinion, your feet take the biggest beating on a day-to-day basis, especially if you're on your feet all day. But then they get neglected when we do our movement practices, right? So this is going to give you some great tools that you can do to take better care of your feet and your ankles. And I'm going to be using 2 blocks today. If you don't have some, I'll give you options. And other than that, I'm going to be using a skinny little massage roller. So this is kind of rare. If you don't have this, you can also use a broomstick handle or anything you got lying around that you can roll the soles of the feet out on, which we'll do later. Okay, so just have those things, and let's get right into it. Taking your block and lying on your back, keeping the soles of the feet down, and slide that block, if you have it, under your sacrum and finding that flat position under the pelvis. Keep your knees bent and just keep them aligned with your hips so we're not coming into an internal rotation, but just a gentle inversion here on the block. Open your arms wide, close down the eyes, and come to stillness maybe for the first time in your day. Bringing your awareness to your breath. And as you take a couple deep breaths, tuning in here, also bring awareness to your feet right now, placed on the mat. On your next inhale breath together, let's raise our arms up overhead. Inhale. At the top, grab hold of opposite elbows. Take a nice big breath. Breathe into the rib cage here. And then exhale, let it out through the mouth. Lower the arms down by your side. Let that go. Hug your knees into your chest, but staying on that block. Doing a little bit of a rock side to side on the block so you get a gentle massage into that low back. And then we'll reach our legs, our feet up towards the ceiling, coming into a bigger inversion, and just really try to relax through the knees, through the ankles, through the feet. Let's start to draw really slow motion circles with your ankles. So literally the slowest you could possibly do. Starting to wake up and engage every muscle in the foot. And change up the direction of your circle now. Really super slow. Good, one more. And then just relax the feet. We're going to try a fun thing. You're spreading the toes really, really wide. So see as wide as you can go with the toes. And then I want you to try to squeeze the toes together without scrunching them up. So try to keep your toes lengthened as you squeeze them together. Yeah, spread them apart again. And then squeeze them together. It takes a lot of focus, you might be noticing. Keep going with that. Because when you think about it, your feet are the furthest thing away from your brain. So it takes a little while for your brain and your feet to really connect and talk to each other. Good, let's do it just one more time. Hopefully you've gotten the hang of it. And let that go. Hug your knees into your chest again. And gently dropping the soles of the feet to the mat. Finding that connection of your feet on the mat once again. Notice a difference. Coming grounded with the mat, with your feet. And slide that block out from under you. Lower the hips down. Hug your knees into your chest. Grab the backs of the thighs and do a couple rock and rolls through the spine. Don't let those toes touch the mat if you can. And on this next one, come up to seated, and I'll face you. So we're going to be interdigitating the toes. Say what? Take your right hand, take your left foot, try to bring your left foot on top of your right thigh. You can straighten that bottom leg if that helps you. But if you bend the knee, you get a nice hip opener too while you're doing this. So right hand is grabbing hold of the left foot, and we're going to bring our fingers in between each and every one of our toes to interdigitate, like you're holding hands with your foot. So essentially we're creating our own toe spacers with our own hands. So really try to get those fingers as far into the toes, separating them as best as you can. And then just start to draw some circles. One direction. And circle the other way. Good. Keep the fingers really in there. Take your left hand, grab hold of your heel, and just start to wring out the foot, we call it. So we're bringing our heel one direction and then twisting the ball of the foot with your hand the other direction, as if you're wringing out a washcloth. Just going, twisting one way and then the other. Really just moving the foot in any direction it can go right now. And let that go. Once again, try to get the fingers really in there. Hold it for one more deep breath. And exhale. Slowly take the fingers out from the toes. Your fingers might be screaming at you. And then just straighten your legs out in front of you so you can get a good look at your feet. Maybe they're not very pretty like mine, but just take a look. And you might notice more space in between the foot that we just did and between the toes, and maybe a difference in color now that you've brought some more blood flow to the area. So let's do the other side. I'm going to take left hand, right foot, interdigitate. Sitting tall. When you're ready, just start to circle the ankle. And circle the other way. Wringing out the foot now, grabbing hold of your heel with your other hand, and then twisting the foot in opposite direction. The heel and the ball of the foot are wringing out. One more time. Really keep squeezing the fingers between the toes. Good. Letting go of that other hand, but keep the fingers interdigitating. One more deep breath. And exhale. Take the fingers out. Letting go. Straighten the legs in front of you. Take a look-see. Maybe you brought some balance and just wiggle your toes around. See how they feel. Good, let's continue with some more weird stuff with our toes. So the big toe is going to come towards you, but the rest of your toes are going to go forward. So we're going in opposite directions. And then switch it up. The big toe is going to reach forward, but the rest of the toes are going to all try to come towards you. You really got to focus again. Keep going with that. And switch. Keep going. Let's do about 3 more. Let that go, wiggle at the toes. You might notice one foot is better than the other. All right, swing your legs around and just come into table pose. Hands under the shoulders, knees under your hips. Let's bring the fingertips to face our knees. Getting better stretch into the wrists as we do some cat-cows. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, drop the chest, lift the chin. And then as you exhale, rounding, spread the shoulders, tuck the chin, and feel that stretch into the forearms. Keep going. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. And exhale. Come back to neutral. Bring the fingertips back forward. And then we're going to keep the toes tucked under, stretching into the toes even further, bringing your weight back, and seeing if you can sit your hips all the way back towards your heels. If this is too intense, you can always place that block under the knees. And this creates less of an angle for that stretch in the toes. Or just keep your weight forward, your hands down. If you feel that enough in the toes already here, that's fine. So wherever you are, we're going to be holding this for a little bit of time. Look down, make sure that your pinky toes are getting involved in the stretch as well. And then roll those shoulders back. You can close down the eyes. And really try to soften through the face, through the jaw. Take 3 deep breaths. Using that exhale breath to try to help you relax into this stretch of the toes. Good. Bringing some engagement now into the toes so we don't overstretch. You're going to think about pushing the toes into the mat as if you're trying to peel yourself up for 3, 2, 1, and then relax, exhale, soften the toes. Do that 3 more times. Engage the toes, push them into the mat for 3, 2, 1, and then exhale, relax. Good. 2 more like that. Last time. And then relax. Finally coming out of that. Relax the feet. Maybe give your toes a little bit of a tap as they're screaming at you. So keep the tops of the feet down and just come back, sitting the hips back to your heels a bit more naturally. Let's do a little counter stretch for the tops of the feet. Bring your hands back behind you. Fingertips point towards your toes. And you can stay like this, or maybe you can go further by trying to lift the knees off the mat, bending your elbows back, and getting that stretch into the tops of the feet. Take 2 deep breaths. and gently come out of that. Good. Placing the hands forward, come back into table, tuck the toes, and push back into downward facing dog. Move it out, walk out the feet, pedal it out. And then come into stillness in your downward dog. Moving with our breath. We're reaching the heels up, lifting up into a releve. Inhale. And as you exhale, full breath, lower the heels down. Keep going with that. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. Inhale. Last one. And exhale down. Keeping the heels dropping down. Try to walk the hands back towards the feet. Once you get there, bend the knees and come into a rag doll. Let the upper body fold over the thighs. You can grab hold of opposite elbows and just hang. Feel free to sway a little bit side to side so you're shifting your weight from one foot to the other. And then even out your weight, coming back to center, trying to have weight shifted evenly throughout both feet. Take an inhale. And exhale, drop the arms, let that go. Inhale, pushing into those feet, and then exhale, rounding up through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Eventually, come up to stand. Good job. So grabbing hold of whatever you got to roll out the soles of the feet. This is one of my favorite things to do to really release any tension in my feet, especially because I have plantar fasciitis. So if you do have plantar fasciitis too, this is great to do on a daily basis. We'll start in our heel. Okay, so taking whatever you're going to be rolling on and literally just start to roll out the bottom of the foot, but focusing on the heel first. If you need to, you can have something to hold on to, a wall, just for balance. But making sure while we're rolling out one foot, we're not just like hanging out in that hip of the other leg. So keep a nice strong supporting leg to support you on one foot as you roll out the other foot. We're still in the heel. And if you find a place that is like really tight and not so nice feeling, you're actually going to stay there and do a little scrubs. So quicker little movements, or really try to get in there. A lot of crunching. And after we've given our heel some love, let's start to move down a little bit more into the arch of the foot. So this should feel pretty nice, or not. Make sure you're exploring the outer foot a little bit and the inner arch of the foot. And then let's try to put our full weight into the arch. So putting more of that weight right into the center of the arch of the foot and put that weight onto the leg that you're rolling. Breathe into that. And then roll it out a little bit again into that arch. And now let's take that rolling all the way to the toes as well. So getting into the ball of the foot, the arch. And now you can really just roll from the whole foot, from the heel into the arch, into the ball of the foot, and into those toes. You can give your toes a little bit of a stretch there too. So I'll just give you some free play time here, rolling out wherever you need to, wherever feels best for you, for a few more breaths. And eventually, when you're ready, come off of that and just try to stand still as quickly as you can. You can close down the eyes, feel both feet grounding down into the mat, but maybe notice that difference from the foot that you just rolled out compared to the other one. Nice. Let's do it on the other side now. So starting in your heel and get rolling. Again, exploring the outside of the heel, the inside. Finding those sort of blind spots you didn't know were tight. And then once you've had some fun in the heel, come back into the arch now of this foot. And again, exploring the outer arch, the inner arch. And then you can again come right into the center of the foot, into the arch, and bring your weight onto it. Push down. Breathe. And roll it some more. Starting to get into the ball of the foot. And now just roll out whatever you need to. Focus on the parts where you found were the tightest. And eventually, when you're ready, come off that, stand in stillness, close down the eyes. Hopefully you feel a bit more balanced, and hopefully it feels like you're standing on a cloud now. That's what I feel like. All right, you can get rid of that and grab hold of a block that hopefully you have. If you don't have a block, you can use a pillow or even a Pilates ball if you have it. So I'm going to place this block just above my ankle bones, in between my legs. Oop, it slipped. Okay, so once you have it placed, thinking about really hugging in and zipping up through the center line of the ankles, the legs, and into the core. We're going to be lifting up, doing some heel lifts, or for dancers, releves, relaxing your arms by your side. Keep squeezing that block in between the legs, in between the ankles, and try to lift up. Inhale. And then exhale with control, lowering down. Ooh, yeah. Let's do 4 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. I'm going to face the side. Keep going. One more time, and we'll add some more onto this. Good. As the heels lower down, come sit into a chair pose, but the block is still in between. This is your exhale. Inhale, stand up and push up into that releve heel lift. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Try to smooth it out. Come into that chair. And then inhale, stretch, push up. Let's do a few more like that. Try to smooth it out, go at a quicker pace maybe. Keep squeezing that block. Let's do 3 more. Last one. And lower those heels. Good. Take that block out, but you're going to need it right now. So if you have 2 blocks, I will demonstrate this next stretch, the last stretch we're going to be doing. But if you don't have blocks, you can use a stair, okay? So I'll explain in a second. But you will need a wall or something to hold onto right now. So placing 1 block about, let's say, a foot away from your wall, or I'm going to use a stool. And then take the other block and placing it on an angle just at the edge of the first block, like so. So this is a really nice calf stretch and a deep stretch into the Achilles as well. So I'm going to step on that block that's angled and just have your toes just on the edge of that block. So for those of you that don't have blocks at home, you're going to be doing this maybe on a staircase so that your heel can just sink down. All right, so I'm going to bring my weight onto that foot. So sometimes I like to put my other leg that's not working, just place it on the bottom block so that you feel secure and that block isn't going to tilt and you're going to fall. All right, holding on to the wall or wherever you're holding on to, and try to straighten through that standing leg that you're on, engaging, pulling up in the kneecap by engaging your quadriceps and engage through the glutes as well. Looking forward, standing tall, and really try to put that weight into the leg that you're standing on. Find that stretch into the ankle and the calf. Good. Adding on a little strengthen and stretch, pushing into the ball of the foot. This is where the back foot can place a bit of weight on that bottom block just to secure it, make sure it's not going to move. But we're pushing up, heel lift as high as you can, and then slowly lower down and let the heel drop to get a stretch. Hoo yeah. Let's just do a couple more like that. Lifting the heel up. And gently lower it down. 2 more. Last one. Let the heel drop down nice and heavy. And then slowly come off. Be careful. You might feel a little bit wobbly. And then again, come to stillness. You can close down the eyes and just feel maybe a difference from one side to the other. Now the leg that I just worked on feels longer than the other one. So let's bring some balance back into our bodies. Going for the other foot. So stepping onto that block, having the toes just over the edge, and stepping your weight on top of it. Again, that other foot can just be there just in case that bottom block starts to tilt. So engaging through that leg that you're standing on, pulling up in the kneecap, squeezing into the glutes, standing tall, looking forward, not down. All right, engaging. So coming up, heel lift, and then gently relaxing into the calf and stretching into the Achilles. Lower that heel down. A few more. Last one. And gently step off. Come to stillness as quickly as you can. Close down the eyes. And once again, shifting your weight a little bit side to side. One foot and the other. And then eventually bringing your weight evenly on both feet. Keeping the eyes closed, reach the arms up overhead. Inhale, breath. And exhale, hands come to heart center. In prayer, push your thumbs up against your sternum, feel the heartbeat, bow your head down in gratitude, and thank you for joining me. Thank yourself for doing this much needed self-care, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.